Hey, hello and welcome to today's session on Agentic AI, the new buzzword in the IT industry. So, why do most AI assistants feel dumb today? I mean, the Chat GPTs and Claudes of the world which we use, right? So we question them something and they just answer us. Okay, for example, you ask, right, book me a flight to Delhi, and it finds the flights for you and gives the results. Okay, but what is agentic AI? It is totally different. It takes a goal like find me the cheapest flight this month. Okay, so it will plan, it will monitor the flight prices every day and notify you when it's best to buy. So instead of reacting, it's proactively working in the background continuously. Okay. So, what are some of the real world examples of agentic AI? For example, self driven cars, right? So, they constantly plan routes, they adjust according to the traffics. Then, another example can be for example, if you want to plan a trip to some place, right? So, you just tell agentic AI and it is going to find out all the all the train routes, all the hotels, right? And based on the previous memory, I mean, it stores a previous memory based on your budget constraints, right? And it will plan your days accordingly. It will ask that, okay, this is the best plan I've got. It will ask the feedback, and based on your feedback it is going to go ahead and book as well. So these are the few real world examples. So we are going to see. So it's a very good segue to come to the next section, which is the core components of agentic AI. So we are going to take a real world example, okay, and walk you through to the core components of the agentic AI. Okay, so for example, let's say you want to plan so you command the agentic AI to plan a 5 day trip to, for example, just an example, to Rajasthan in December with family. Okay, so the first layer, which is going to be, it is going to be a perception layer. So it is going to fetch all the flight train schedules, check for the hotel availability, looks up the Rajasthan tourism sites and all. Okay. So once it has got the results from the first layer, then the second layer would be, it is going to remember your food preference, right? So you basically generally prefer the vegetarian food, and it keeps track of the budget preferences from earlier preferences. I mean, it stores basically. So this is what is called memory layers based on the past. Okay, based on the past um, preferences. Okay, it considers that, it filters the results. Okay, then once these two layers are passed, comes the brain of the agent, that is the agentic AI, that is the reasoning and planning layer. So here the LLMs are involved, like the chat GPTs and Claudes and the llamas of the world, right? So they do the planning basically. Okay, so day one, which would be the best which would be the best start. So day wise planning it is going to give you. Okay, and then comes actions and tool use layer, wherein it books flights, right, reserves hotels with veg breakfast options, and then buys entry tickets online for Amber Fort, for example. Okay, so 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 here it does all the actions basically. It, as I said, right, it is going to book the flights, it is going to reserve hotels for you, and then comes the feedback layer. Okay, so user can give the feedback in this particular layer. So we want more time in Udaipur, for example. After day one, you mark the rest of the days as too rushed. Okay, so based on the feedback, it can learn, it can adapt accordingly and create a new plan for you. Okay, so this feedback layer can also come before the action. Okay, before the action and after the reasoning and planning layer. So post this, it can ask you for the feedback that this is the plan. Okay, so let me know if it is good. Okay, if you give green signal, then it is going to take action. Okay, and it is going to book flights and everything, basically reserve hotels and all. Okay, and then comes the final one, which is called the governance and safety layer. Okay, it basically generally it avoids hotel bookings with poor safety reviews. Okay, also doesn't share your personal credit card details with unknown APIs, with the unsecure APIs basically. So in short, so these are the various layers of agentic AI. Okay, of agentic AI. Okay, so let's go ahead and see the various technologies which are used in agentic AI. Okay, so first of course, the large language models like the GPTs and Claudes and the llamas, right? So here it's basically, these are the brains. These create the plan for you. Okay, then MCP servers. MCP servers are nothing but um, it's a interface for your planning layer or for your agent basically, okay, to connect to the agent with the real world. Okay, for example, the travel booking APIs, right? The databases. So wherever you want to take action, okay, where you want to take action, for example, you want to book hotels, right? You want to book flights, that this is the interface for the agent. That is the MCP server. Okay, so the generally the agent passes the structured information to the MCP server, and the MCP server generally converts that structured information to, for example, whatever the API inputs are required. Okay, so it calls the APIs and all. Okay, so this is the interface for the agent to connect with the real world, basically to do the action. Okay, then comes memory. Okay, memory. Definitely, it is also one of the most important layer because it remembers your past, right? It remembers your history, whatever the type of person you are, like veg, whatever your preferences are, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, or whatever conditions or allergies you have, or whatever the budget constraints you have from the past. It remembers that and creates a plan for you. Okay, so here in this particular layer, the vector databases like Pinecone are used, right? Or key value stores like Redis, DynamoDB, Cassandra are also used to store the previous history, the history basically. Okay. Then comes the event-driven systems. Okay, like Kafka and Redis pops up. Definitely, they are used for real time basically. Okay, for real time. And then finally, agent frameworks like LangChain are used to stitch all the layers together. Okay, to stitch all these layers together, LangChain technology is used basically. To all these layers together, LangChain technology is used. Okay, so these are the technologies. Okay, then comes the challenges. So the grass is not always green. So definitely the agentic AI, it can hallucinate, it can make wrong decisions. Okay, autonomy raises questions about control, how much freedom we should give. I mean, definitely it should have some kind of validation or confirmation from the user, right? Otherwise, I mean, if it goes ahead, I mean, it creates plan and goes ahead and does the booking, and what if the booking is wrong? Basically, we didn't want that. Okay, so that is why, how much freedom should we give? Then security concerns, right? I mean, if it is complete autonomous, if we give complete autonomy, then it can definitely take some rogue actions. Okay, so these are the challenges. And the final word, agentic AI that doesn't just answer, but it acts. In short, if I want to summarize agentic AI in one line, okay. So this was a very high level and brief session on agentic AI. Maybe in the next session, I will build a simple prototype and walk you through that particular prototype. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thank you.